That's a lot of jiggle right there.
You're not
right?
going alone.
Jiggle bone.
Oh. That sounds a little cancerous. A lot of chicks. Okay.
You know what I love about feminist?
Ubisoft's 20
Yeah, it's like, I don't even get it. But hey. Not
Use
your
it.
exotic fantasy. That's the theme of this episode.
Ubisoft's
Ubisoft's
2012 game Far Cry 3 cast players as
Just like the ballad. I like the ballad company too.
Jason Brody, a young white American man vacationing in Bangkok.
Young white American man.
You're not putting emphasis on the word white or man.
Talk with his brother and their white friend.
White. It's his brother and his white friends.
But their carefree fun comes to an end when a
When they go to black people land.
skydiving trip goes wrong and they all end up being kidnapped by
By evil
White man.
white men. Yeah.
evil pirates who, you guessed it, are not white.
What? What the
The
fuck?
evil people aren't white.
What have I learned from all these feminist videos then?
Yeah.
What madness is this? This game is obviously part of the Patreon!
I thought that should be decent.
Jason escapes and encounters a group of island natives called the Rakyat, who enlist his help to rid their island of the pirates, ushering Jason into his exotic and exciting new role as a tribal warrior and white savior is Citra.
Tribal warrior and white savior. What the fuck?
She's got a point. He's white and he's savior.
Oh my god.
A young woman who's viewed among her people as a warrior goddess.
Okay, warrior goddess. That's
Under her
alright.
guidance, Jason's adventure rapidly becomes an absurd hodgepodge of
Rapidly becomes convoluted. Okay.
racist stereotypes,
Racist!
Racism, you just... How dare they be racist?
How dare this game? Goddamn Ubisoft!
I'm gonna fucking go dislike their game now.
I'm gonna dislike their games trailer. And I'm gonna make a video crying about it, and I'm gonna disable the comments and the ratings.
Yeah, I mean... The only people that really comment and like and dislike are white men, and they always
Yeah,
dislike and leave negative comments.
We don't want that kind of trash on our fucking website. We gotta get rid of all these white men.
it's about tribal cultures and brown women.
Brown. Why aren't they just women? Why are you such a racist, Anita?
At one point, Citra gives Jason a hallucination-inducing drink which
It's a boss fight. How else do you get a boss fight in this type of game? You gotta do drugs.
leads him into battle with an imagined giant. After he defeats the monster, he's rewarded with a topless Citra, telling him that he's now part of the tribe. You are Rakyat.
So what?
Citra's strange mystical powers
Pretty
return
sure
later
they
in the
had to
game when
work
she
for
blows
that
a glowing dust into Jason's face, triggering another hallucinatory.
So she's a chick that likes to drug people and have sex with them.
Well, obviously, she's seen as a goddess. That the only
What?
way that she can get to that privilege is by drugging the people to make them think that she has magical powers.
Yeah.
But
Probably just have sex with all the tribal people. That's the initiation ritual.
drug them. If they survive,
Fuck 'em.
fuck them, and then they're in.
And they're in. What else is there to get? Anita?
Sequence that culminates in the game-ending choice: to save Jason's friends and leave the island, or to do Citra's bidding, to savagely kill his friends and stay on the island with her.
She's a tribal
player-
goddess, and they are intruders.
Yeah. Straight
I
up,
would
if you're
want them
part of
dead.
the plan, fucking kill them.
I would want them dead or gone.
This is a game choice. Either kill your friends, or go have sex with a tribal woman.
Sex with tribal woman.
Yeah, right. That's about
They choose to murder Jason's friends and stay with Citra, a scene plays in which the two of them have sex. Then she stabs him while stating that their child will become the new leader of the tribe. I guess those mystical tribal...
Who knew?
Maybe that's why she's going around drugging people and having sex with them. Because she's trying to murder them. And why is she trying to murder them?
Because she's a black woman!
Obviously because she's a black woman.
Oh, thank you, Anita.
Not because she's a psychopath.
No.
It's just because she's a black woman.
Just because she's a black
The powers of hers just immediately let her know that she's already pregnant.
Yeah.
Ideals. On one hand, Citra is yet another example of a female character whose sexuality is presented as a motivator and reward for the presumed straight male player.
Presumed straight male player.
Yeah.
The way she says those words.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
That voice.
Well, yeah, that voice.
But there's something more insidious happening with Citra. Her body paint and magical powers suggest she practices some sort of tribal mysticism.
She has a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
How most mysticists have a lot of drugs. Her whole thing is that she drugs you a lot.
Yeah.
She's obviously a tribal mysticist. What I don't see anything wrong with the like how she's dressed. She's not even dressed that revealingly.
Yeah.
I mean, she's better than most of them.
She's better than most people would be on a secluded island.
Yeah.
Most people wouldn't be wearing clothes on a secluded island.
Or maybe. Maybe not. I
Think
don't know.
If it's a traditional tribe from that island.
Most tribes don't even wear clothes.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the that one ancient. No, it's not even ancient. That one tribe that's on an island that's never been colonized, and they've been people take photos of them from like afar, from planes and from satellites and shit, and they're like a tribe that's never been touched by Western or any civilization or any. They're just completely natural, and they don't have clothes.
Clothes are artificially made.
But well, I think
So, for what she is, the goddess of the tribe, she is pretty well clothed.
yeah.
Which also roots her in a long-standing tradition of racist stereotypes. These
Here we
elements
go.
of sexism and racism intersect, turning Citra into a stereotype of an exotic, primitive, mystical, savage, sexualized woman of color.
How is she savage?
She murders.
But other than that, she's not very savage. I don't know how Anita
She
picked up
drugs
on
you.
that. That's not savage. Savages don't use drugs. I mean, bogans use drugs, but that's a different story.
They're pretty savage.
Oh my.
You seen that Tony Abbott?
Oh, fucking hell, Tony Abbott.
He's savage as fuck. Fucking smash him on the table.
Oh, that's just a myth, man.
Why I like taking this back. It's better that way.
This linking of sexism and racism is an example of what's called exotification. Exotification occurs when a group is treated as inherently different, alluring, and strange.
Like a lamb to the slaughter.
For instance, when certain white men falsely view
Oh my
Asian
God.
women as inherent.
Oh my god.
Like-
White men
no.
like...
No, let's go back to this. I am going to use movies from the 1950s to portray what the ideologies are now.
Anita, come on. 1958. The barbarian and the geisha. Whoa, fucking hell. Couldn't you have taken like a more recent movie or something?
You know, like Star Wars.
That wouldn't even matter.
That's why.
No.
That's
inherently more obedient or
People don't
submissive
care
than
anymore.
women from other cultures and sexually fetishize them as a result of these false notions, those women are being exotified, and their
1957.
race is falsely depicted as the defining aspect of
You've
their
gone
character.
backwards in time by 1 year because you couldn't find any sooner versions.
This is the latest you could find.
And personality.
America. So far away.
Not so far away that I'll forget you.
For the purposes of this episode, we're focusing specifically on
How was that even bad? That was like a love story thing. What are
Apparently
Asian
they
women?
seem submissive because they fall in love.
Are Asian women apparently?
But that is-
Are Asian women not allowed to be submissive?
No, wait,
submissive
wait,
women
wait.
now? Is
To
that
be
just not
completely
allowed
honest,
to be a personal trait of them?
in in the 1950s, Asian women were very submissive.
Yeah, but
How does that portray them now?
I don't know.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
She's using false evidence and making it seem like it's true evidence.
Yeah.
And blatantly false evidence.
And why aren't Asian women allowed to be submissive on TV? That's a personality
That's a
trait
traditional
that
trait.
that people do have. It's not a thing that doesn't exist. It's a thing that does exist. I mean, may not be as big as
it was in the 1950s.
but it's a personal trait. Why does that matter?
Yeah. Maybe they had one person in mind
Yeah.
who was a submissive Asian woman.
On racist stereotypes of tribal and indigenous cultures.
What, you're saying we should... Well, there's a lot of bad things that happen in tribes. Like the one brain-eating, cannibalistic tribe that all died out because they ate the brains of an enemy tribe and they all got fucking diseases.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking fucked up savage shit that tribes have done. What? Are you thinking we're labeling the tribe? This is a pretty civilized tribe.
No. They are a civilized tribe. But let's remember, they are pirates.
No, these aren't pirates.
Aren't they pirates?
No, these are the Rakyat. The pirates are the gangs of Somalian children.
Oh, that's right. They're trying to protect these people
Yeah,
from
these-
people who have
these are
been
the
trying
warriors.
to kill them for their whole life.
These are the good guys. They're not even that bad.
I think that she's honestly trying to tell us to side with the pirates.
Oh no, Anita.
Yeah.
Oh, because they're black people. You want us to let the black people kill the black people. What is this? What is this, Anita? You don't like that that this is us trying to stop fucking crazy people.
Hashtag sane Black Lives Matter more than insane Black Lives Matters.
Yeah.
More
Hashtag sane Black Lives Matter. Fucking god damn. Yeah, what the I mean, think about a country like that, where there is like a civil war or something, and there's gangs of fucking thing. Are you pissed off if a video game makes a game about that, and the fucking gangs aren't white people in the black majority country?
What's next? If there's a game about 9/11, you're going to get pissed because the people driving the
people
planes
driving
are
the planes
Muslims.
are Muslim? What the fuck, Anita?
But it's important to note that women of color from any background can be, and often are, stereotyped and exotified.
Again with the 1950s.
Sometimes black female characters are exotified entirely through clothing that simultaneously sexualizes them while also evoking racist stereotypes. 2009's Resident Evil 5 introduced a new character to the series, Sheva Alomar, a bioterrorism security assessment alliance agent who joins Chris Redfield as he confronts an outbreak of infected in a fictional region of Africa. The first time you play through the game, Sheva looks like this. However, once the story has...
I half expected that she was going to go off on a tangent about how there's two white people shooting black people in a country.
But they're in Africa.
But they're in Africa. But I don't know.
It makes sense that they're shooting black people.
Yeah. I mean, the black zombies anyway. This was a thing that the fucking media, Fox News, were pissed off about ages ago. But whatever.
been completed, if players also collect all 30 BSAA tokens scattered throughout the levels, they unlock a new outfit for Sheva called the Tribal Costume.
Wow.
Equipping this outfit takes...
Wow, so hard work. You get to make your character look sexier?
So,
If you want
so
to
for
make...
a completionist, this is just an understanding that you've got the
This
skull.
is an achievement. People can work hard. This is not a part of the game that's normal. The normal players play through the game
And
never
see this.
But people who work hard get a benefit of, like, actually seeing a different, like, unique things about it.
Yeah. And I'm sure that there's a backstory with her cultural descent towards why they've chosen that.
No, I don't think so.
I would say that they would have some backstory that she's got some cultural descent.
I have no idea. But seriously, this is just an achievement item thing. This is just something to work hard to for literally no reason.
90% of the players will never see it.
Yeah, 90% of players will never see it. And it's an old game now.
It's more than 5 years old.
Yeah. 8 years old.
Yeah.
Sheva, who up until this point has been wearing somewhat practical attire for the work she's doing, and shoves her into a leopard print bikini top and a few tatters of fabric around her waist, while also applying paint markings to decorate her face and body. In Hyrule Warriors, the villain Sia is one half of the spirit of the original sorceress, a noble being who watched over the balance of the Triforce. When the evil Ganondorf drives the light from the sorceress's soul, she splits into two, with her virtuous half becoming Lana, who, like the similarly righteous Link and Zelda, is fair-skinned. Meanwhile, her evil half becomes the darker-skinned Sia.
Okay. Zelda. Black people are evil, white people are good. Nah. Now fucking hell. This is stupid, because this is a video game that essentiates the bloody thing of a white, like as in light being good, darkness as in like, you know, fucking darkness.
No,
being
there's
bad,
one
you know?
more. There's one important matter. This game was intended for children. They have to distinguish between good and evil. And
What are children afraid of?
the
darkness.
boogie monster. Yeah, darkness.
So children are afraid of darkness. So when a character splits in half between the lighter self, the safe, the light, the good, and the darkness, the thing that's evil, the thing that conceals the bad and shit, yeah, of course they're going to be slightly darker in colour and wear darker clothes and shit. That just makes sense on a psychological level.
Especially for kids.
Especially for kids.
Who casts dark magic, wears an extremely sexualized outfit, and whose body is adorned with...
Right,
Yeah,
that's pretty
'cause-
sexualized.
I mean, that is pretty sexualized, but...
But it's a video game, get over it. Get
And
control.
also, so what? It's a fucking... It's the bad woman. She's obviously going to not care about wearing,
Yeah,
like,
she's a
non-revealing
bad
clothes.
person. She's a tempter.
Yeah. But, yeah, but seriously, like, does she care?
Or is
No.
she just trying to murder you?
She's just she's the villain. She's the kill you while looking good.
markings reminiscent of tribal body paint. These differences between Lana and
I
Sia,
wouldn't
two
call
halves
that
of the
tribal.
same being, directly link the color of their skin to their goodness and virtue, falsely suggesting that a lighter skin tone reflects a purer, more noble spirit. In reality, lighter-skinned women of color are often depicted as more desirable and
There's
more
a lot more
virtuous
blue on
because they
the
come closer to
white.
meeting the culturally dominant white beauty
Let's be
standard.
honest, with the weeds
This
in the
insidious
world
notion that a
prefer
darker
shit over
skin tone
black
reflects a
ones.
less moral or virtuous soul is hardly
got
new to
blue
the
hair.
Zelda franchise, in which the heroic and noble characters like Link and Zelda are fair-skinned, while the recurring villain Ganondorf is associated with the darker-skinned Gerudo people.
Again, light versus dark.
Yeah, but
He's an orc.
what about trolls and orcs and shit? They're like darker skinned, but they're inherently evil most of the time in video games and shit.
Unless it's an RPG, in which case they're just a race.
Yeah. I mean, but it doesn't matter. It's just part of the lore and shit.
Generally, in mythology, bad shit happens to trolls. And that causes them to be bad people.
And if we're talking about the enemies of things, this is all about perspective. I mean, a country, a black majority country, if they're warring against a white majority country, and if it was playing from the side of like the white country, that we would see the leader of that black majority country as a villain, as a bad guy. And why does it matter that his skin is black? That's just irrelevant.
He's an evil person.
In Diablo 3 there are 6, soon to be 7 classes to choose from, but only one of them is represented by black characters, the Witch Doctor. Employing just about...
Are you saying that the witch doctor should be a white person? Wouldn't that be cultural appropriation, Anita? Isn't that something that you don't like? Don't you feminists fucking hate that?
Let's be honest, the traditional witch doctor in mythology is based off a tribal warrior of a black tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or would you prefer the witch doctor be a man?
No, this is Diablo. It can be male or female.
So it's equality. Get over
Every visual
yourself.
stereotype about tribal warriors in the book. Elaborate piercings, skull masks and body paint, and carrying voodoo dolls.
Wait,
Much like the
So
stereotypical...
Anita played this game as like, oh yeah, you can just be a man, but no, I want to be the woman so I can make fun of how overly sexualize it and call out patriarchy and shit.
Yeah. It's Diablo, you can have. It's Diablo 3, you can actually pick man, woman, whatever you want.
Did she like take off some of her clothes?
I'm pretty sure that's the default. But that's only because you put armor on the game.
That's fine. I mean, you put real armor on. Diablo isn't fucking sexist or racist because it has a tribally.
Skyrim has... that must mean Skyrim is fucking racist as fuck.
They have a red-skinned person. That's an Indian racist.
They
shit.
literally demoralize the Dark Elves to force them into one city, and in one part of that city where they are constantly monitored and fought over as feet.
Yeah.
But that's not racist.
No,
This is
This
racist.
is racist. Fucking hell.
Idol of power. The witch doctor is a caricature of tribal identity rooted in centuries-old racist imagery that has no place.
So if you had to describe a witch doctor, someone who is able to summon spells or something, or curse people or something, in a video game that's like an interesting concept, what would you design the character as, Anita? You would make them Jill from fucking IT, wouldn't you? With a button-up suit and shit. Yeah, she would go in there full on like work attire, and she'd cast a magic spell. Yeah, that makes utterly perfect sense.
Being perpetuated in the
it should be
21st
Asian
century.
too.
And this is nothing new. Harmful, ignorant, racist stereotypes have been used in the design of supporting.
Oh, you mean an Indian? So like an Indian, so a video game about the Civil War and shit, and like shit before that, and like Indians and shit around and fighting Indians.
It's bad to
Cowboys
have
versus
them.
Indians is now racist because the cowboys are white people.
And the Indians look like Indians did.
What's wrong with making a video
What's
game
wrong with
about-
being historically accurate?
What, are you saying that you're not allowed to make a video game about history now? What about the Nazis? You can't make a video game about killing Hitler now because
Hitler killed himself.
Yeah.
It's historically inaccurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. No more killing
No,
Hitler.
but seriously,
Hitler's
what the
good
fuck? And what about the fucking African warlords? Is it racist to say that they're bad guys? Is it racist to say that fucking dictator from
guy.
Africa?
Well, they are right in their own perspective. They believe they were right. They are whatever they want to be.
Alright,
characters and enemies in games for decades, and often the result is female characters who are both sexualized and exotified.
Alright, so what Anita wants is she wants to ban anything to do with tribes, anything to do with black people,
Or
unless...
any other coloured skin other than white.
No, but we have to have black people, we have to have Asians, but they have to be exactly identical to white people with the way they dress and the way they act. You can't have any uniqueness, you can't have anything like that, you can't have any cultural representation. You just have to have bland, exactly the same, but just
And
slightly different
if
races.
you fuck up on the difference between Chinese and Japanese people, oh boy, that's World War III right there.
Right there. Alright, let's continue.
Have you come to kill me?
Yes.
It's no secret that fighting games often feature sexualized female characters, and often feature characters whose design is rooted in ethnic stereotypes.
Sexualized female character
Sometimes
right
these two
there.
elements combine in
Big ass
sexualized,
muscles
exotified
right there.
female characters.
Hey, you don't know what
In
he
Street
sexually
Fighter 4,
identifies as.
Elena wears,
Sexually
well,
identified as
she wears almost nothing. But the bands that she wears on her arms, legs, and neck vaguely suggest African tribal culture. and she possesses that stereotypical...
Specifically Egyptian.
So, yeah. But
She's wearing traditional Egyptian clothing.
are you pissed off that she's wearing that she's scantily clothed? Have you seen tribes? Have you seen
traditional
Africa?
Egyptians?
Have you seen like African like tribes and small towns, small villages and stuff? How many of them do actually wear normal clothes? Most of them wear not that much.
Yeah. They wear what they can.
They wear what they can. They do what they want.
They'd prefer to drink than wear clothes.
That's a bit over the top.
No, it's serious. If you are on a fucking, if you're in a third world country where you have terrible money income, would you not prefer to buy water than clothes?
But they make their own clothes. They do have their
Exactly, but you still need material, and would you not prefer food or water?
True.
character trait of a mystical connection to the earth.
I'll show you my dance. You ready?
So you're not allowed to believe a woman when she says that she has a mystical connection to Earth or something. No. Thanks, Anita. No, but what? How is this racist that she has superpowers?
They have to explain her superpowers somehow.
I mean, they can say it's a deeply rooted
Or
ritual
if
in
she
a culture.
didn't have superpowers,
Then that just gives it a reason to exist. So what? Who cares?
and let's say that they didn't. It's a matter of, oh, what's this? She's special because she's Egyptian. Can't win.
Listen to that. She's an Egyptian. She's got the fucking camera.
But she's apparently of African descent. And it.
All these stereotypes are anything but harmless. Here in the United States, racist images and stereotypes...
Finally, a modern movie
One movie.
about a racial.
Except this one is praised because it shows how bad white people are. But hey, if we're talking about fucking, what was it? Old cartoons, like bloody, Tom and Jerry, and the fucking, Black Nanny, that's racism. That's 1920s racism right there.
It's
I mean,
1920s historical accurate.
No, it's stereotyping of the nanny thing. The black nanny thing, whatever. I know that that's definitely a stereotype. It's been used hundreds of times in old movies. And like, it was a big thing.
Pretty accurate.
And then you've got the fucking Walt Disney ones. You know, the guy who was racist, the guy who was like xenophobic and sexist and shit. He fucking made a bunch of bloody racist and sexist
To
things.
Kill a Mockingbird has a black nanny. Yep, that's not racist.
No, because it's in a time when you could have a black man.
Because it's historically accurate.
Yeah. And Atticus treats her nicely. And
Yeah, exactly. Just because he treats her nicely, it's okay.
pretty much. Well, whatever. Continue with your bullshit.
of black women have been doing tremendous harm for centuries. In fact, false ideas about black women as inherently hypersexual beings were perpetuated in Southern slaveholding societies.
Yes, perfect representation of a hypersexualized being. She was about to shank that guy.
Yes, hypersexual.
Why don't you at least show me some examples? Examples.
This was a time when oppressive Victorian ideas still held sway, creating a false sense of womanhood as inherently domestic, submissive, chaste, innocent, and modest. But the reality...
You mean 16th, 17th, 18th fucking century crazy bullshit? All the shit that the black man.
Yeah. She's gone back to the 30s.
How can you have a case that racism exists when every time you show me an example, it's
Either wrong
1939?
or before the 60s.
That was even before the second feminist movement.
This was during the Industrial Revolution.
No, it
sorry,
wasn't.
the
No,
Great
it-
Depression. Sorry. Sorry. Great Depression.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And during that time, there was some racism going around. There was some shit happening.
Yeah.
I mean, it was in the mainstream media at that time.
Pretty much World War II.
That literally is World War II.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty serious. I have no idea what's right.
Who cares what the
We don't even care who the Prime Minister is.
What the fuck? Malcolm who?
Oh, no, it was Tony Abbott, and then he got out.
Yeah, he smashes a marble table.
Well, apparently, but, you know, I just think he's a much more respectable person.
Alright, let's continue. This is gonna be like fucking a half an hour long fucking video.
The reality of black women's lives as slaves was irreconcilable with these notions. Not only were female slaves of course.
Oh my god, 1969?
Oh my god, she found something more recent.
Wow, that's only like more than 40 years old.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Almost 50.
We almost hit the 50 mark.
Literally, it's just like 2 years.
Hey, it's better. Better than what she was using. She's improving.
Yeah. She is improving in her examples.
Not by much.
Not by much. And look at this shitty quality. What kind of DVD rip did she get?
I doubt that she actually.
Did she
I want to
actually
get
get a
about
proper
licenses for these copies of these movies.
Well, where'd she get this? Did she just copy it off YouTube for all that money she got on the Kickstarter to get these copies on YouTube? Right?
Probably.
Did she play these video games herself this time? Alright, let's continue.
Denied any and all basic rights as people, they were also often forced to be.
Oh look, it's a rape scene of some sort.
No,
look.
that's actually demoralization.
Oh my god. Now I wonder how old this is. This looks like centuries old.
Yeah.
What kind of an example is this?
A good one.
An example of what happened before.
Yeah.
Naked when on display
that
at
makes
auctions,
sense.
were regularly whipped in
And
partial
how
or
this
total
is
nudity as
in
punishment,
video games
and were
now.
frequently sexually
No, it's
assaulted
not.
and raped by their owners. In her essential book, Sister Citizen, Melissa Harris Perry explores how
this
myths
has to
about
do
black
with video games, yeah.
Wait. What'd she say?
women and were frequently sexually assaulted and raped by their owners. In her essential book, Sister Citizen, Melissa Harris Perry explores how myths about black women's sexuality were deliberately perpetuated by white people as a way of rationalizing their cruel and dehumanizing treatment of people.
How does she know? Was she there ages ago? Oh wait, is this an old book or something?
Based on everything.
I mean, is this a book written during the 20s and stuff? And shit, like, when, like, they were talking about when there was, like, actual racism going on. Was this actually, like, a thing? Or
I
is
like how
this-
you say actual racism.
Yeah. Like, actual racism.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we
Not
do...
what's going on now with, hey, you're black. Racist! Back then it was, hey, you're
a colored...
black.
No, nowadays, fucking Hillary Clinton got really depressed because she fucking said she called a black person a colored person and not a person of color. And then all of her people were like, oh, there's the cameraman's a black person. You should go apologize to him. Yeah. SJ confused me.
Shit's getting too real.
Female slaves. The myth of black women as lascivious, seductive, and insatiable was a way of reconciling the forced public exposure and commoditization of black women's bodies with the Victorian
Yes, they
ideals
are
of
right.
women's modesty and
This is correct. In
In 1930.
1930. Oh, this book's from 2011.
Yeah, but they're talking about 1930.
Yeah, they're talking about 1930 and shit. This is not a thing that happens now, Anita. This is a good book about how terrible it was ages ago. and how like the racist white people kept on trying to justify their claim. But this is ridiculous to try to say that this is something similar to nowadays in video games. This is just not a reasonable statement. This is impossible.
There is no evidence.
There's no evidence. Alright. Sit back down, we're gonna continue. Wait. Mate, I will reveal to them what you're... I will tell them exactly what you're doing. This cunt, he's cleaning everything. No! Wait. He's got OCD.
Go!
He couldn't even sit down for like half an hour to talk about fucking stupid feminists. He couldn't even do that. He's already started cleaning again.
I have a serious problem.
Alright, let's play.
Fragility. The idea that black women were hypersexual beings created space for white moral superiority by justifying the brutality of southern white men. These false, harmful stereotypes and their tragic impact have remained alive through the centuries and into the present day. Throughout most of American history, up to and including much of the 20th century, the sexual assault and rape of black women by white men was almost never treated as a crime. In her book, Dark Continent of Our Bodies, historian Frances E. White says, virtually no legal protection was provided for women who were portrayed as loose and licentious. Under such conditions, black women, promiscuous by definition, found it nearly impossible to convince the legal establishment that men of any race should be prosecuted for sexually assaulting them. The rape of black women was simply no crime at all.
Yeah, back then.
Obviously, the problem here is not with the idea of representing women who come from tribal cultures. Our media absolutely should reflect the cultural diversity of the world we live in, but that's not what characters like these do, at all.
Well then, how are we supposed to represent them?
Not historically accurate.
Wait, literally. Go Google tribes, like accurate images of tribes, and you will see a fair few scantily clad like women and tribal tattoos and markings and shit. It's so what? It's just a game sense, a game design thing.
Being accurate.
It's not, yeah, it
Not
is,
even being stereotypical. Just being
hey.
accurate.
And if you want to create your own tribe, whatever, you can take all these things. What kind of tribe is Far Cry 3 appropriating? None. They made their own up, and they made up their own tribal symbols and tribal rituals and shit. So what?
Trouble drug.
So what? This isn't like a racism thing. This is a creating your own culture thing for a video game. It's basically what every person who makes a book or makes a movie does when they're creating a fictional universe.
What's next? Harry Potter's fucking
Racism.
racist because there's not many black people.
Yeah. Confirmed.
These are not respectful, well-researched representations of actual cultures. Rather, they represent a form of cultural appropriation.
Oh my God.
When a dominant culture exploits...
They've got sport fans up there who
For
coloured...
the Indians team, whose mascot
Cleveland
is a
Indians.
stereotypical Indian.
They're not even dressing up as an Indian.
They're dressing up
as a mascot. And look at that. How that they've even got the fucking conical crazy fucking thing. They're just sports fans.
No, there's just white names. Okay? There's no other excuse.
But seriously, what the fuck
and often profits from the history, culture, or traditions of a marginalized group. Like a white person putting on a sombrero and a...
Yes.
Okay, so this is racist now.
Well, it's not racist, it's stereotypical.
So what? Nobody cares. And if you do, you're just stupid.
If a Mexican sees that, they're gonna laugh.
They're gonna be like, oh, look at this idiot.
Yeah, they're not gonna... And let's be honest,
They'll be like, chuck me some tequila, mate.
if you're wearing that costume...
If a Mexican has... Hey, if a Mexican has any kind of the sense of an Australian, if I saw someone wearing a Crocodile Dundee outfit and being a stereotypical Australian, fucking sitting there with his fucking massive knife and fucking being like, we can't pack me a fucking ciggy, pass me a fucking ciggy, I'd be like, alright, mate. And then
Sit down, have a couple of cans of biscuit.
Yeah. Who the fuck cares? If someone wants to try that hard to make a stereotypical Australian, I'm like, fine, that's alright, I don't care.
I don't care, you're gonna give me free grog or what?
Yeah, what? This guy's got fucking 2 bottles of tequila. If I was a
He's
Mexican,
family.
I would be like, mate, sit down, let's have some shots.
Even if you don't drink, it'd just be like, oh yeah, funny cut.
Oh, yeah, whatever. I don't care. Normal people don't care. That's why feminism is just failing. Because it's just about stupid people.
Fake mustache, grabbing a bottle of tequila and saying they're going as a Mexican for Halloween. These offensive and embarrassing depictions reduce rich culture.
And embarrassing. How is having 2 bottles of tequila on you embarrassing? That's like fucking social standing right there.
Yeah, I bet you he would go to that party.
And everyone would love him.
Yeah.
He would be there with 2 bottles of tequila. Everyone would love him. You're fucking... You grabbed a coat hanger out of the trash and... What are you doing? Nothing. Alright, let's play.
Down to a few stereotypical signifiers.
A few stereotypical signifiers. Yeah, so what? Stereotypes are fun. Are they not?
Mystical powers, skimpy, tattered clothing, body paint, and racialized hypersexualization are used as shorthand for exotic.
So you've got...
Psycho murderer.
No, you've got this chick on the fucking far left. And this chick is... That's Resident Evil 5, and that's the unlocked clothing that you need to play through the entire game to unlock. No, don't you have to play through the entire fucking game?
And collect every skull.
And collect every skull, and then when you replay it, you get this here. This is fucking completionists that just want something that looks alright. Who cares? They're in Africa. It's an African tribal themed.
The second one
thing.
is literally a 2D platform fighting game.
This is the middle one. So what?
2D. If you get off to fucking hardcore fucking 2D and 2D pictures, go ahead, mate.
Go ahead, mate. Who cares?
We're not going to be able to stop that.
And then you got La Chick, who's not even wearing that scantily clad. I mean, I've seen chicks outside in real life that wear a lot more scantily clad than that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
And she's got a bunch of tattoos. But so does everyone on that island. It's
And
just
she
part of
also
the
has
culture that they've
magical
made.
powers.
She has she has drugs.
We don't know. She could have magical drugs.
Yeah, who knows? But who cares?
As a result, these signifiers reinforce extremely false and damaging stereotypes about the people and cultures that they're appropriating. These false, harmful myths and stereotypes continue to contribute to the marginalization and oppression of women of color in America today. For instance, in her book, The Politics of Disgust, feminist theorist Anne Marie Hancock...
Feminist theorist.
Not just any feminist, but not a official feminist. A theorist feminist.
discusses how racial stereotypes about black women contribute to a political system in which the marginalized continue to be underserved, oppressed, and unheard.
Alright, shut the fuck up. Let's start. Shut the fuck up.
Don't laugh.
This is yeah. Some fucking idiot walked in. We had to cut her a bit.
He had chips.
He had chips. It was a good enough peace offering. So we're gonna start off about right now.
Actual history of those characters.
But yeah, she can't fucking do anything about halfway too. It's not racist. It's not sexist.
Characters in honest, respectful ways. In many ways, Alex Vance
How
from
dare
Half-Life
she
2
twist
and
the
its
name
follow-up
of that Lord
episodes
Game.
is a great character, and it's good to see games that incorporate the cultural history of those characters in honest, respectful ways. In many ways, Alex Vance from Half-Life 2 and its follow-up episodes is a great character, and it's good to see a non-sexualized woman of color in such a prominent role. But the game isn't concerned with her cultural background. Nilin, the biracial protagonist of Remember Me, is a sexualized female protagonist, but the sexualization doesn't employ racist tropes. Like Alex, her cultural background.
Okay.
So they have to be of racial descent.
No, she didn't.
But that can't be part of the story.
Okay, so she complimented Half-Life 2
At least you
because they put in a cultured woman, but didn't let her talk about her culture or do anything that resembles her culture. Rightio.
Background is treated as irrelevant. Unfortunately, there aren't many positive examples of women of color in games whose cultural history isn't erased, but also isn't presented as the stuff of racist stereotypes. And that's a shame, because characters whose cultural background is incorporated honestly and respectfully can work to challenge the deeply racist status quo. We're at least seeing some improvement where black male protagonists are concerned, though they're far from perfect and
neither are the white males. They are still
I find this irrelevant because I play mostly third-person games. I never see my skin color unless I see it on my hands, but most of the time you got gloves or something.
Yeah.
Does it really matter? I mean, I could play a black man perfectly fine. I play San Andreas all the fucking time. It's a great game. GTA San Andreas.
GTA 5, you can be white or black.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I don't care. Either or.
They have different special powers.
If you be Trevor, you can rage out and shit.
If you're Michael, you can slow down time.
Yep. And if you're Franklin, you can rob a bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. Continue.
in terms of representation, 2016's Watch Dogs 2 and Mafia 3 center black male characters and acknowledge black identity and structural racism as aspects of their characters' lives.
Watch Dogs 2 acknowledge structural racism about their characters' lives? What the fuck?
They're fucking hackers.
Mafia 3 does feature a supporting character named Cassandra, a woman of Haitian heritage whose background is very important to her character. Cassandra fights the entrenched Italian mafia and their racist brutality against the poor black citizens of the game's fictional southern city.
Goddamn Italians always being racist to black people.
The game 1979 Revolution doesn't center a woman as its protagonist, but in telling the story of the Iranian Revolution, it illustrates how games can introduce players to new cultural perspectives in ways that are respectful and compelling, and that work to counteract stereotypes rather than to reinforce them.
We are a nation of equality greater than Western capitalism.
One game with a female protagonist.
We're a nation of equality greater than national capitalism.
Yes.
Oh my god! What the fuck?
They just don't care.
Of course the feminist Anita pulls out the fucking, oh yes, Muslims are feminism, they're equality, more than goddamn Americans and white people. Always racist.
Never a black person being racist.
Never anyone that's slightly discolored from white. Unless you're Donald Trump, we don't take kindly to orange people and just stand in their house.
He won the support of those with free currency.
Protagonist that does an excellent job of incorporating a character's cultural history and traditions is Never Alone, which stars a young girl named Nunya, a member of the Inupiat people of Alaska. Folklore and traditions of the Inupiat are incorporated throughout the game in a respectful way that enriches the player's understanding of these people and their experiences. This kind of respectful treatment of cultural history and traditions should be the norm, but instead, games more often just plunder marginalized cultures with no sense of respect and no concern whatsoever about accurately reflecting the people and traditions they're appropriating from. To put it simply, it's not okay for games to reduce these cultures to stereotypical costumes.
Wait, what culture is fucking Far Cry 3 ripping on? What culture is it appropriating from? It's just maybe African-ish tribe.
they have tribes that are similar to traditional African tribes.
Yeah.
That
Who
blew
cares?
my mind.
Amazing. Next time someone makes a video game, let's convince them to add the sagging tits into DLC, where it turns all the women into the old images of African tribe women. Yeah, that sounds like
Historically
accurate. Historically accurate. That's what you want, right, Anita?
And personality traits in an effort to add a bit of exotic flair to their worlds. It should not be too much to ask for and expect representations of people of color whose cultural backgrounds are acknowledged and woven into their characters in ways that are thoughtful, validating, and humanizing.